1. How we doing, Fit Fam? Steve, Papa Pump here from Revitalize Fitness, and I'm going to have a little conversation with Leah about online personal training, what it is, what it isn't, some of the questions that we've been getting when we're interviewing people or they're reaching out with questions about how we operate with our online coaching, and more importantly, how Leah operates it as our lead online personal training coach. So,
I'm
Leah, right? For people that don't know who you are, let's learn a little bit about who Leah is, a little bit of your background, what you do outside of Revitalize Fitness before we step into the questions.
Okay, Leah, last name Walter, married to another fit man that works out here at Revitalize. We're a big into the fitness community together. He's a competitor, I'm a competitor. He's since retired, I'm still going. So, I mean, a few things about me. I'm a dog mom, I'm a girly girl, I love to get into the gym, lift hard and heavy. I'm a foodie.
Travel?
We travel, I'm a big foodie, love to go to different gyms when we travel. That's like one of my favorite things to do. So yeah, and I just love staying fit. It's a lifestyle. I've been doing this for 10, 11, 12 years now. I've been competitive as an IFBB pro for the past 5. So it's a lifestyle for me. Honestly, I prep and I don't prep, off season, in season. I live this lifestyle all the time, and I love helping others be fit too. So definitely a passion, for sure.
So it's not just something you do for a paycheck. It's
no.
Definitely life lessons learned.
No way, yeah.
Right,
and definitely not. And I mean, the amount, we'll get into this later, but the amount my clients text me and talk to me, it's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, you're always on, you're always willing to help people, so.
Right. And kind of going into that, a lot of people, one of the big questions we get is, I'm not where I want to be before I start, or I don't want to be looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Joey Swole or somebody like that, right? It's not just for online coaching or in-person coaching in general, isn't for people that are looking to step on stage like you and TJ have, and some of the other pros. You do work with some, people that are stepping on stage or actively competing, but then we also have people that are not. So kind of talk about the difference in the clientele that you do work with.
Okay, so I've got a couple. I love my lifestyle girlies and guys. They are amazing. They motivate me because they just want to get fit. I mean, they don't have a timeline for getting on stage, nothing. They just want to be healthy and lead a better, healthier, more fit lifestyle. So I work with them, certain protocols, certain structure. For lifestyle people, it's definitely going to differ than your competitor who's a little bit more structured, a little bit more rigid. Things are laid out much more precisely when you're in a contest prep. So both. I'm very much, I ebb and flow with both people. I understand being a competitor and having competed, both myself, a ton of my girlfriends, and my husband. So I understand what we need as a competitor, but I also have done the lifestyle aspect, and I've had time off stage, so I understand the lifestyle part of it as well, and just wanting to lead a fit, healthy, happy, good lifestyle on the daily.
Right.
So I structure completely different, and I think that it's just important to keep that in mind, that everybody has different goals, everybody has different aesthetics of what they want to look like. So structuring everybody different, you know what I mean, and listening to the client as to what they want to look like. Sally doesn't want to look like an IFBB pro. You know what I mean? She just wants to look toned and fit, and
maybe get rid of the baby weight from
exactly.
Having 3 kids
She just had
back
a baby, and she wants to come out in summer and be her best self. And it's listening to her and how she wants to go forward and how we structure her routine is going to be completely different than say Maddie, who's getting ready to compete in 2 weeks.
Right.
So just being able to help everybody equally and listen to each and every concern and find, I believe as a coach, it's my job to help them find an avenue to reach their goals. That's what I'm here to do.
And then you've got another client too who just recently retired. We're talking hormonal issues going on, the body's changing, figuring out what's the right balance, because it's not working in your mid-50s, 60s as it was when you were 25, 26. So working with them on how to figure out what workouts are going to be good for them. And then even the nutrition side, which is a big passion of yours. So that's one area too where a lot of people think, if I just sign up for online training, I'm going to get a PDF download of what workouts to follow in the gym. So when Leah's taking a look at working with a client and they reach out to you, what kind of information helps you best plan them? So they can be thinking about what their goals are, what their lifestyle things are. What are the things that are going to help you plan best for them?
So typically when I reach out and we first have our consult, I will have my client journal their food and their activity level for a 3 to 4 day time period, so that I'm not shooting in the dark. So I want them to let me know, what are you eating for breakfast, lunch, dinner? Maybe you're only eating once a day. Let me know what your diet is looking like, so then we can go forward from there, or else I'm just pulling numbers out of a hat. So we start there, and then we start with their goals, what they're wanting to do, what that's going to look like in terms of time in the gym, in terms of maybe some cardio, in terms of maybe restructuring their diet. Maybe they're not eating whole healthy foods, or maybe they're eating a ton of carbs, not a lot of protein. So trying to teach them and educate them on macronutrients and build our structure first and foremost, our workout structure, our sleep and our cardio structure, recovery structure.
I know that sleep one's more, you've been on me about.
Seriously,
I went from 4.5 hours of sleep to I'm up to about 6.
Oh, sleep, huge, and just trying to educate people, because sometimes I think people, big picture instead of like breaking it down into easily identifiable chunks, you know what I mean? So instead of overwhelming yourself and having this huge goal, like why not make it into bite-sized pieces that we achieve, weekly or bi-weekly, depending on how you're checking in. And then we go from there. Then we just lay out our structure, and depending on the packages, we have multiple of them through Revitalize. Just depends on how much you check in. So we're talking constantly. And I'm here to just kind of help lead the clients weekly, bi-weekly, and just keep checking those boxes till we can get to their goals, make sure they're on task, and make sure they're succeeding every week. Like there's a win every week. Right. Is ideally what I would love. Whether that's the scale, whether that's just something in the gym, whether that's just a family thing. Like they went to a birthday and they didn't sit there and have 3 slices of cake. They had a slice and moved on with their day. Stuff like that, where it's all about the wins. Every week I ask that in my check-in questions. What's one win from this week? And I genuinely want to know, what's one good thing you did this week? Anything,
personal,
any area of life.
Professional,
yeah,
spiritual.
Give me a win. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Let's stay positive with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then kind of tying in with that same avenue, like you work with people all over the place. One question that I've gotten a lot when I'm meeting with people, either virtually or in person, is like, well, I'm not a member of the gym. That's fine. You've got clients in Florida all over the place. You've got clients that travel almost full time for work, or retirees that travel all around, staying in hotels and different things like that. That's one question I get quite often. Are you seeing that as well?
Yeah, I have clients. I think now with internet and everything being the way it is, I personally, for my competition stuff, everything is through online and email and apps. And our Revitalize app is, I'm not even saying this because I'm a member here, but it is a very all-inclusive app where like your workouts are logged. I'm logging measurements. We're taking photos. We have a chat portal. You can send me videos. We can look up recipes. Our app on Revitalize is very all-inclusive to where anybody could use it. And then there's different places in there too where we can structure. If someone doesn't want to do macros, we can write a meal plan. You know what I mean? Suggestive meal plan. So I'm able to really structure and accommodate everybody no matter where they are. And then a nice thing is that our app allows us to make any kind of workout. We're not just picking and plugging in pre-made workouts here. Every single one of my clients, I can tell you right now, has a different workout and a different programming. Not that they don't have some of the same movements, but I'm not going to take a leg day from one girl and copy and paste it onto another girl's plan. That's just not how I work. So when I talk to them, I'm able to look, I've had Ann, when Ann went down to Florida for winter, she took a video of the gym she was down there. And so I paused the video and I picked apart the pieces of equipment she had in there, and I made her a whole Florida sunshine tone-up workout program for just the 4 months she was down in Florida. So it was very specific to her equipment down there. And then when she came back up here, we reopened up that portal, that exercise plan when she came back to Revitalize, because it had all the Revitalize equipment in it. So stuff like that, where I'm able to pick and plug in different pieces of equipment people have at different gyms in different areas. So the app is amazing.
Yeah. What's kind of tying in with that on, people having struggles with traveling and this and that, and trying to make it as user-friendly and capable as possible. What's one of the biggest things you've seen, because you do a lot more online training than I do, the biggest hurdle or struggle people have with sticking to the plan? Is it lifestyle? Is it family, work? And then kind of how do you encourage them to get back on? Because we've all fallen off the pony. It's a matter of just getting back on that horse and riding off into the sunset, right?
I'd say a lot of people, it's accountability. Having someone hold them accountable, and having someone be able to troubleshoot with them and for them. Having done this for so long, I think I feel like I look at the day maybe a little bit differently than some other people, and look at fitness in general differently. I think people genuinely start and think they have to be 100% all in, go 110% right off the bat, and I think that just overwhelms people.
Okay.
And they fall off, and then they fall off, and then they feel like crap, and then it's like a back pedal. But really, just one bad day or one bad workout or one missed workout doesn't equate to a whole terrible week. Yeah. So I think being that person for people where if they are having issues with scheduling, I had a mom who summer's crazy for her. Her kids are off work. You know, your wife understands. Like, summer's crazy for her. So we completely redid her summer schedule to accommodate the kids and the soccer, and she'd be on tournaments on the weekend. So we would front load her workouts, meaning she would do Monday through Thursday, take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and she still made progress. She still dropped weight. She was still looking leaner and tighter and toned, and her lifted numbers, the numbers she was lifting in the gym, were still going up.
Consistency.
100%. But we went through, and she told me those troubles. Instead of just falling off and missing workouts and not showing up for herself, she said, no, I want to do this the right way. And so we just made a new schedule for her that worked for her. And again, as a coach, I kind of feel like that's my job, is to make sure that schedule is aligned with every individual who comes to me for coaching, because no one's schedules are the same.
Right.
No two people, have the same life. So just making sure I can help them in any way, shape, or form, accommodate them and troubleshoot for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, awesome. I love that response. Here's another one that I get a lot is, would I be better off to do online coaching or in person? Since you've done both, you're primarily all online now with your work schedule and your client load list, pretty much all online now, but you have a lot of experience with in-person coaching. But when someone says, am I better off to do online coaching or in-person coaching, or maybe even a hybrid, which we can do that as well, where you do, where you handle all the prepping and the the meals and stuff like that, and then somebody that's struggling with how to use the machines or not comfortable with free weights, kind of walk me through what you would advise somebody who says, am I better off to be one-on-one, in-person, or online coaching?
I think so. I don't want to say it depends, but at the same time, if it's someone completely new, like all they've done is classes, like at the Y, I would say doing an in-person, learning all of the machines at their gym, at our gym, that would be helpful in terms of correct form, knowing how to structure workouts, and where to feel like the muscles essentially.
The good pain versus the bad pain?
Exactly. We're not trying to load the lats, we're trying to load, the biceps, the different stuff like that. So showing them and helping them figure that out, and then transitioning to an online client. I think that works really, really well. For some people, they need the accountability of in-person. They need Brent.
The appointment set.
Exactly.
I'm meeting Brent at 6 o'clock
They need
in the
Brent.
morning.
6 a.m. We're going and we're doing legs on a Tuesday. Like, some people really need that accountability. But I also think that without good nutrition and without rest and recovery, which is like the other big percentage of it, you're gonna not excel as fast. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna be going 5 miles an hour to a destination instead of 25 miles an hour to a destination. So adding in all the pieces of the puzzle, I would say personally, hybrid would be the best of both worlds.
Right.
You would have your online nutrition, you'd have your nutrition portion of it, you'd have your cardio, someone to reach out to for questions, but you'd have those 1 or 2 scheduled sessions every week that you can depend on that person to really push you.
Right.
And maybe it's
teach you something different.
Yeah, and maybe it's for a lagging body part. You know, Kelly really wants to bring up her glutes. Okay, so she knows she's got her glute sessions every week where she's going to get her butt kicked for the good, for real. Yeah. She wants them kicked, but it's like it helps her keep that accountability. You know what I mean? So I think that both work. And then obviously if you are away or if you're not in the state, I always love form videos. So I will have clients send me videos of their form doing stuff. So we're all online, but they shoot me over, 1 to 2 videos a week, certain forms, and we spot check them. You know what I mean? And so sometimes that's nice, is that just gives them that accountability, and they know every week they need to send me 2 videos of 2 different movements, and we go through and we just form check them. How are you feeling this? How's the depth on this? Your foot placement on that? Let's rotate your elbows in a little bit.
Breathe here, breathe
inhale
there.
Yep. So it's like I'm almost in person with them, but we're just doing it a couple times a week, which is still keeping that accountability aspect, but allowing them just the freedom of online and travel and living whatever state, but I'm still watching over them.
Or somebody might be like, I can only work out at 2 a.m. when, we'll be
Yeah.
honest, we don't have a trainer that's available at 2
100%,
a.m.
yes.
You know, I mean, we'll,
Yeah.
we'll wake Brent up at 1:30 to get him in here, right?
Yeah, I mean, he might do it. He loves his clients, so he might do it.
Gracie would be in here.
Yeah.
But gives them the flexibility to work around their schedule. Like you
Yeah,
said, you got
100%.
school, kids, you know, careers,
That is
travel for
the
work.
amazing
right?
part about online is you have no, either, I hate to say it, there's no excuse. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You've got a whole structured plan laid out, and it is a very detail oriented plan laid out.
Yeah.
So there's really no excuse.
It's laid out like a textbook.
100%.
Right.
Follow, check the boxes, go to sleep at night.
So let's say somebody has all of that and they hit a really bad, just kind of fall off the pony. This is one we've all seen. If you've been in the industry, you know, people will hit that wall and they're just like, hey, knock on the door. Where you at?
Yeah.
Where you at, Joe the plumber? You know, time to show back up.
Yeah.
What's your kind of approach? Is it by person, or I know a lot of people think you're extremely intense and you know dialed in when they see you working out. You're
my
one of the
RBF
most,
face where
you're
I'm
one of
like,
the most focused, lasered in
Yeah.
humans I know when it comes
Yeah.
to working out. But you're also one of the sweetest, nicest people I know.
Oh, I
Do
appreciate
you kind
that.
of play that by the individual or what their level of commitment is to their program? When it's kind of like, hey, do we break out the soft touch on the back with the
Right.
roses and chocolates, or are we breaking
Yeah.
out the chains?
I think I get to know my clients individually, and I think when you're talking with them weekly, or even some of them, you know, in the middle of the week, if we're texting about a question here or there, you really do get to know each and every one of them and how they're going to respond better.
Okay.
Some of them need a kick in the butt. Some of them need you to call them out on their bullshit and say, listen, you missed 2 workouts this week. What the hell's going on? Like some of
Right.
them, they need that. Some of them genuinely want nothing more than to get in shape. Life just gets in the way. And sometimes beating them down and making them feel worse, it literally just tears them down. So it's like speaking life and speaking positivity into them, and then offering a helping hand. Like, how can I help you to structure your day so we aren't missing the gym? How
Right.
can I help you to plan ahead your meals so you're hitting your nutrition 100%? How can I help you? Like, let me help you. That's why I'm here. So I think it just depends on who it is, and what their mindset is. If it's a competition prep client, she's getting her butt kicked.
Yeah.
We're not playing that game. If it's a lifestyle client, depending on their goals, because some of them do have timelines and goals. I will, you know, some of them.
A wedding coming up, vacation.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah, I had just had a wedding
surgery.
client. Yes. So some of them, we do have hard timelines. And so sometimes I just remind them, hey, you said you wanted this goal.
Yep.
We're working towards this goal. Your actions have to match the goal. Like, you can't say this and expect this, and they're not aligning.
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of goes back and forth on the client, their goals, and what that looks like for each person, and then knowing the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's a personality? What triggers
Exactly.
them or motivates
Yeah,
them?
yeah. I love psychology,
Yeah,
so
me
I
too.
love just learning more about people and what makes them tick, and how to get the most out of people. You know what I mean? And how to be that person that helps them get there versus like brings them down and you know, weighs them down. I want to lift them up and help them get to where they're going, because we all want to win.
Right.
I mean, in any way of our life, we all want to win. So why not help people do that?
Kind of like
you know?
my children. I got an 8-year-old son
Yeah.
and a 4-year-old daughter. They're going to respond two
completely
totally different to their
And then you have a
stimulus.
wife, so it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you got
yeah.
all kinds of
Yeah.
you know, energy going on at your house. So
You
it's
got to figure
like,
out what's the motivating factor to get them
or
to
even
get the reward they
employees
want.
here. Like, how do you
Yeah,
speak to each employee? You know
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
can't
To
treat
kind of
everybody
get
the same.
them exactly.
Right.
But learning how people tick, and then how to help them, because I never want to bring people down. I always want to help people. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all here. We only get one life, right? So we
Be
all
the
want to
light in
win.
the dark.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
want to win.
Yeah.
So.
One of my last questions will be, this is one that we get a lot with in-person and online coaching, is how long do I need to do this for? Kind of my
That's a good
take
one.
on this one is, depends on how serious you are about putting in the effort. Because
Yeah.
you know me, I'm a very motivated, driven individual.
Yeah.
If you'll see me out on the floor walking around with a tissue shoved up my nose in allergy season because I got a bloody nose. Like, we're putting in the work.
You're in here at
right?
4 a.m.
Where some people be
grinding
like,
out.
hey,
Yeah,
I got a hangnail. I should probably call off the rest of the week.
100%.
Right?
Got a migraine. I can't come.
So kind of like if someone is just a lifestyle client, they're like, well, I only need 3 months, or
Yeah.
do I need 3 years?
Yeah.
Kind of like, what would be your honest take on that with an individual who, say, a Susie soccer mom or a Joe the plumber that wants to lose, I don't know, 20 pounds, tone up, and feel a little bit younger in their mid-30s?
I mean, it's going to be a lifestyle change, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, if we're starting this journey, they're already saying that they want better for themselves. So if we are starting in person, online, whatever it is, they're already coming to you and saying, listen, my hands are up, like I want better. So I would say, why even put a timeline on it?
Yeah.
Like this is a lifestyle. Let me teach you how to count macros. Let me teach you about nutrients and meal timing and when to eat, that pizza that you want to, that's not bad, but like when to put it to use. Like why even put a timeline on it unless there is a goal? But other than that, like let's just make this a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Let's make this your day one of a completely better life.
Right. In
terms of nutrition, working out, building muscle, like let's lose weight while we're doing it, all of the above. So in my mind, I kind of, if people come to me, it's like, don't put a timeline on it. Like, let's do it. Unless we need, obviously again, unless we need to, we have a hard stop time for a goal. But other than that, it's like, let's just change your life. And then you're better for it forever and ever.
Well, and goals always change too.
Exactly.
Right. And my big thing that I've learned my whole life is don't ever accept that goal as the final destination. It's just a stepping stone along the way, because the second that you say I made it is the second you stop putting in the effort. The second you stop showing up.
And then you limit yourself. Yep. So it's like you reach goal A, cool. Who's to say there isn't a goal B or a goal C? That's even better. That's even more. That's even making you level up even more so. So it's like, why put a label on a goal? You know what I mean? Just reach that milestone. Okay, now we're on to the next. Like clap for yourself, pat yourself on the back, but know that you can do more. There's always more. You know what I mean? Like you're going to get better and better and better. So I would say why put a timeline on it unless we have to? Let's just make the change of lifestyle and keep grinding, keep moving forward. Yeah.
So. And kind of put it in perspective for everybody watching. You've been in professional bodybuilding for how long?
I've been competing for like 13 years now.
And you've had a coach for how long?
13 years.
Right. So it doesn't mean she's got a lot of accolades, a lot of trophies sitting at home.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of certifications, nutritionists, all of it. Right. And it's kind of, at least for me, taking the rosy colored glasses off. Yeah. Somebody else taking a perspective that is their sole focus is to make you better. Where a lot of times we kind of tend to all be fine. Like you said, I'm fine to hit up the Mr. Freeze or go out for the pizza. And then before you know it, hey, that started on Thursday, now it's Sunday, you lost 3 or 4 days, right? Where that coach is going to say, hey, take a look at it and hold you accountable. So it's like, even if you hit that goal, kind of coming back to the timeline, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, like have that person in your corner, unless you already have somebody else there that's going to pick up when you're done with coaching with us or anybody that you coach with, but like having that motivating and that accountability partner with you.
100%. Right. Accountability is a big one. I just had an ex-competitor friend of mine reach out to me yesterday and we were talking and she doesn't have a coach right now and she's like, I really miss the accountability. Yeah. And I'm like, that, exactly. Like, and she's a seasoned competitor. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to eat. She knows how to train. She knows how to toggle her macros up and down, but she's like, I miss the accountability. I miss having a coach. And it's just, I 100%, I think it's just having that person there, not to hold your hand because I don't believe that I need to lead you, along, but to help you and to spot shoot for you and to troubleshoot and, even collaborate on things. What's a better way for you to reach this goal or for you to reach this milestone or for us to get this body part to build up a little bit more and pop and, have more pop and things like that. So I think it's always just good to have someone who you can lean on in that aspect. And like you said, you can turn your brain off, let me as the trainer work for you.
All you do is do the work.
Literally, you show up, you do the work, and I can guarantee you will get results. Nice. That's exactly how I feel.
Awesome.
But you have to be honest about it. You can't pretend.
Yeah, like I had this one client, not to kind of go off too far as the subject, but had lunch with him, right? And come to find out, when I'm checking his stuff the next morning, he didn't track everything he had at lunch.
He didn't track at lunch, and he thought you weren't watching.
Oh yeah, I pay attention to everything like that.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, those macros are off a little bit, probably about 20 grams of fat,
right?
Because we had some salmon at lunch, right? And so, but it's about the accountability. Even if you are going to go over, right? It's better to track it. That way you yourself identify it, then your coach sees it, and we can find workarounds with that. And that's one of the things I love about, counting your macros. And, some people hate it, some people, love it. To each their own. That lifestyle works for me. Counting my macros.
I think long term you have to learn. And that's something that goes, hand in hand with like helping, like teaching people macros. Some people have no idea what protein, carbs, and fats are, but as soon as the way you look at food changes, not for the worse, but just knowing what you're putting on your plate or going out to a restaurant.
Portion sizes.
Yeah. Just being able to go out to any restaurant and make true healthy choices. A salad isn't always the healthiest
Nope,
choice.
nope,
I
because
hate
you're
to
gonna throw a
say
bunch
it.
of Betty's dressing on there,
Yeah,
or
a
some
Caesar
ranch.
salad with
Yeah.
some fried chicken isn't always the healthy choice, but once you learn macros, that's a lifestyle forever. Forever you will know more about nutrition, and forever you will be able to just look at things and just like mentally kind of know what's on your plate, and that's life-changing in and of itself.
And
So,
being a gym owner myself, and selling personal training, doing personal training, probably going to catch a lot of crap for this one, but in my personal opinion, nutrition is the most important key to it, because abs are made in the kitchen, right? You can do all the work in the gym. You could be in the gym 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, and if you have a crappy nutrition, your progress, your gains, your goals are not going to be attained, right? So nutrition, that's a big passion of yours as well, right?
yeah, I invite anybody to go down the YouTube rabbit hole of some influencers will do like eat 5,000 calories, burn 5,000 calories, and try it. Watch the video and see that McDonald's, sandwich, fry, and Coke, it ends up being 1,500 calories. How much energy do you have to exert to burn that 1,500 calories off?
You're doing some hill sprints, and you're doing
and some people are
bunch
eating
of
out
burpees, and
2-3 times a day like that, and it's amazing. It's funny, and I watch YouTube sometimes, but like those videos make me laugh because they'll even do eat 10,000 calories. How long do I have to burn 10,000? A minute on the lips, a lifetime on the hips is what they say for the girls. So paying attention to that. So I totally learning nutrients and what a calorie looks like and what a calorie doesn't look like.
Big difference, right?
Yeah, what you think you're eating and consuming versus what
beneficial
the real,
fuel, not beneficial.
100%. Yeah. So it all goes hand in hand. But I feel like we're here to help with everything.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a lifestyle. It's not just a gym. It's not just coaching for what to do. It's how to do things, how to have a different perspective maybe on what is the right way to go about it. And everybody's different,
100%.
I've had injuries, you've had injuries, torn biceps, hamstrings, concussions.
You were just talking the other day, about.
I tore my hamstring in, March or April? Not completely, but enough to where I couldn't squat or even, tie my own shoe without excruciating pain. But it's about how to come back from that, even 100%. What stretches to do. The things I tell a lot of people, it's all the little things you don't want to do that's going to get you to where you want to be.
The warm-ups. Were you warming up that day you tore your hamstring, or did you just go straight
actually, I really think it was my shoe.
Okay.
I had literally just ordered new shoes for lifting, and they just like rolled. I watched a video, and it wasn't filming the whole video, that one set. And it wasn't even going to be like my top lift or anything like that. It was that one, like the ankle kind of just moved a little bit, and then I saw my heel kind of roll off the edge of the foot.
Okay.
Because it broke down a little bit. And then that hamstring goes.
It was just it.
Just pop.
Yeah.
It was like, I just stood there, and I looked at Brandon and Mike, and I go, well.
Right.
They're like, you need to sit down? Nope.
Yeah, Steve's not sitting down.
Nope.
He's not admitting defeat. We're not doing this.
And then I moved, and I go, nope, we're done.
Oh, okay.
So I took 3 days off, and I was back at it.
Yeah. I mean,
not doing RDLs or nothing like that, but it's how to come back from that, having that humility to say, well,
100%.
We're starting off with a pink 2-pound dumbbell,
right?
And
how to build back up. One step back, but then what? 1 step backwards, 3 step forwards. You know what I mean? I'm sure you came back better, and
I'm almost back up over 500 on deadlifts.
Yeah.
So
now you're smarter.
Yeah.
And I will say, after an injury, you never appreciate a healthy body. Same thing with being sick.
Yeah.
You get a real bad cold.
You can hear me right now, can't you? Yeah.
You never appreciate being able to breathe more than after you have a terrible cold. So same thing with an injury. Like, you're probably never going to appreciate being able to squat pain-free more than you do after you just had that whole situation happen.
Yep,
I've been there, I've done that. Same thing. Yeah.
Avoid
you
that.
Appreciate a healthy body in all aspects way more, when stuff happens.
Closing thoughts, is there anything that you want to put out to everybody, or what is Coach Leah's, what's on her mind?
What's on my mind?
Yeah. Is there anything that
Nothing,
you want
this was fun. I kind of love this. I love this vibe. Just talking.
A little hangout, little jam sesh.
I feel like we have a lot to say, and there's a lot of people that would benefit from just listening to people talk raw, real truth about fitness.
Let us know what you guys want to hear. Drop a comment below. What are some questions you have that we didn't hit today? You can hit Leah up. What's your Instagram handle?
Leah Lou IFBB Pro. Leah Lou _IFBB Pro.
I'll tag you in the video.
Yeah, tag me.
I'll tag you.
But
in the video.
We're open books. Like I said, I'm always here to help.
Give us some more ideas of things to talk about. We'll have a couple more content. I'm going to be interviewing a couple of your clients.
A couple of my clients. They can say the good and the bad and the ugly about.
We'll make sure Leah's not here for that.
I know. You don't want me in the room. They'll get scared.
Yeah, they'll get all scared. But no, it was a lot of fun. Appreciate you having you.
Papa Pump in the house.
All right.
Yeah.
Break. There we go.
See ya.
A little jam